Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me for today's class. So today is more of like a block party. So I'm going to be using a brick. If you don't have to have a brick as always, but it's nice to have one. They're only really cheap, so it'll be good to just really have one to up the ante of your practice, maybe to help you lift the floor up too. If you don't have a brick or a block, you can use a book. Something sturdy really. And then when you're ready, I'll meet you right here on the mat. So just take a quick moment to close down the eyes and we'll just center ourselves really. Using this time to quieten down the mind with the breath. Simply noticing how each inhale and each exhale moves around the body. And as you take those breaths, allow the breath to be the focus, to keep you aware, alert, and present. So if at any time the mind starts to wander, which it will because that's the mind's job, you can use the breath to re-guide you back. Taking those real big inhales through the nose, nice long exhales through the nose. Whenever you're ready, gently blink the eyes open. The gaze is soft. So coming to your hands and knees right away, tabletop position. Hands about shoulder width distance apart, knees underneath the hips. Just going for a few rounds of your classic cat-cows. You can take any other spinal movements if that feels good, so you can just roll it around here. You can use this opportunity to warm up into the wrist as well. Wherever you are, just find a bit of stillness as you place your block or your book, wherever you've got, underneath the right hand. Scoop the belly and the ribs in so that midsection is engaged. The glutes are slightly engaged as well. Begin to extend and float your left leg, the right leg. You can always tuck the left toes under if you like. So notice as you extend your right leg, just keep an eye on your lower back. You might find that you need to lower the right leg down. You can stay here if you like, left arm reaches forwards. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, release for 5. 4, nice and slow, use control. 3, I've lost it. I've lost how I counted. 2, but we'll roll with it. Last one. And then extend. And then grounding the hand, switch it to the other side. Grounding the hand, and then scoot your knees back behind you a little bit more. Find a little bit more width in the hands, wrap the triceps back, so squeeze the elbows in towards each other, so engaging into the pecs. Remember the neck is nice and long, and if at any time you like to bring the knees off the ground for your full plank, you're more than welcome to. Shift it forwards, wrap the triceps back, lower halfway down for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, lift it all the way back up. Reset in a tabletop, block underneath the left hand, and adjust yourself as your right leg floats. Left leg floats. Right arm reaches forwards. Take a deep inhale, exhale, round it in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hand to the mat, scoot your knees back behind you. Again, feel free to come to your full plank. Adjust your arm stance. Wrap the elbows in, triceps back, lower halfway down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it all the way up, remove the block. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Keep the knees micro bent if you like. Wiggle it around, however feels good for you. Just finding a bit of stillness here. Keep pushing your hips back behind you. Find as much length as you can along the spine. Pressing into the inner palms. Inhale, look at the front of you. Slowly walk to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the chest through. Exhale, fold forwards. Press down the legs big. Inhale, reaches you all the way up. Reach the arms nice and high. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the chest through. Maybe hands are on top of the legs. Exhale, step back to your plank pose. Again, that might be with the knees off the ground. If you're in a modified plank pose, knees are behind the hips. Engage into the whole body here. So you're going to shift it forwards. Don't allow the hips to drop. Keep it lifted. Wrap the triceps back, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift you all the way back up, plank pose. Exhale, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Inhale, look at the front of you. Easy walk to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the chest through. Exhale, fold forwards. Press down the legs. Inhale, brings you all the way up. Reach the arms nice and high. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Maybe switch it up. Maybe lower it down. Find your engagement as you shift it forwards. Wrap the triceps back, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift up, plank pose. Exhale, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the front of you. Easy walk to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Press down the legs. Inhale, brings you all the way up. Reach the arms nice and high. Exhale, fold all the way back down. One last time. As you inhale, halfway lift, pull the chest through. Exhale, step back, plank pose. You know where you're going. Engage into the midsection as you wrap it, triceps back, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then just settle here for a couple of breaths. If you prefer, you can always come into your child's pose. As you inhale, reach your right leg nice and high, three-legged dog. Maybe roll the hip open. Just wiggle it around here. And then slide your right foot forward, lower lunge. Grab your brick. Find your base here. So feet about hip width distance apart. Lift your back heel up and then rise up. So I like a really engaged high lunge if you've taken my classes before. So the back heel stacks on top of the toes. So you think about lifting up rather than hinging forwards. Bring in the block between the hands, whatever you've got. Front knee on top of the ankles and it's facing forward. Take a deep inhale through the nose and as you exhale, reach forwards, bow down halfway. Pull the right hip back, find your engagement, squeeze into the inner thighs, your pelvic floor, spreading to the right toes. Taking a big breath in and as you exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, release. Exhale, crunch it in. One last time, inhale, release. And then as you exhale, round it in. Press down the foot, inhale, lift you all the way up. Keep the left knee tucked in. And then as you exhale, you're going to float your left leg back behind you. Reach the arms forward for the full warrior three. If it doesn't feel good, then obviously you can drop the brick and then use it as more of a nice supported one. Bend into your right leg as you land your left hand to the ground. You're going to come into release the block, side plank. Take whatever variation feels good for you. Taking a big inhale, exhale, plank pose. Place the brick between the inner thighs. So again, take whatever variation of a plank pose feels good for you. Squeeze into the brick, draw the belly in, ribs in, pelvic floor in and up. So what this brick does, it helps to fire up into the core, obviously, and into the glutes, so that will help stabilize you a little bit more. So that's having the brick here will help you notice what you need in your plank pose. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, lift it back up, downward facing dog. Remove the brick. As you inhale, reach your left leg nice and high. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Find your base, rise up, grab your brick. arms lift up. I'm looking for a nice long spine, so if you're rounded and you're hunching, it's probably best to lower the arms down a little bit more. Take a deep inhale through the nose, exhale, tip it down halfway. So by reaching the arms forward, I'm forcing you to find a little bit more length and to use your back in the arms a little bit more. Taking a big breath in, and as you exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, release. Exhale, round and crunch. One last time, inhale, release. Squat low. Exhale, round it in. Press down the foot, inhale, lift you all the way up. And as you exhale, full warrior three. Right leg extends, arms reaches forwards. Squeeze into the inner thighs, keep reaching the arms forwards, imagine them pulling you. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, drop the brick, side plank, right hands find the ground. Lift it up, you don't need to overthink it. Then release the hands to the mat. Come back into a plank, squeeze the breath. Take one more big inhale, and then as you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the front of you, slowly walk to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Grab the brick. Place it alongside, so the long bit's facing the top of the mat. And then you're gonna stand or pop your heels on top of the block. Okay, so you can go feet, actually let's go to your traditional, so big toes together, or the feet together really. And you're gonna take a chair pose. As you come into a chair pose, just notice that again, if you're adding a massive back bend here, squeeze the inner thighs together, squat low as you can, reach the arms forwards. Find your breath. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Maybe a little bit lower, send the knees back behind you. And then we're gonna just do tiny pulses here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand nice and tall. Keep the heels on top of the bricks. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, fold forwards. If you feel like you're dangling, then maybe hands on top of the thighs or to the shins. As you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, downward dog. Inhale, reach your right leg nice and high. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward. Spin the back foot down, extend the side angle, right forearm on top of the thigh. Left arm sweeps up and over. You can always reach it up towards the ceiling if again you're kind of hunching. Press down the leg, inhale for your warrior two. And then as you exhale, reverse. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, front leg starts to straighten. Adjust your stance. Back toes turns in as you come into your triangle pose. And you can always use the brick to lift the floor up to you to keep the length and the lines in the body. Taking a big breath in. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Feel free to vinyasa through. As you inhale, reach your left leg nice and high. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Spin the back foot down, extend the side angle, left forearm on top of the thigh, right arm reaches up and over. So a nice long stance here, making sure that you're facing the right side of the mat as much as you can. Press down the legs, inhale for your warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, lift. As you lift, I'm beginning to adjust the stance. My front leg straighten, and I'm coming into that triangle pose. Releasing the hands to the mat. Take a child's pose. Keep reaching the arms out in front of you, spread into the fingers. Press into the finger pads, tucking 10 toes under. As you inhale, roll forward, think cat pose, spread into the back of the heart. And as you exhale, move through the cow, bring the seat to the heels. Two more like that. Inhale, roll forwards. Exhale, back. One last time, inhale, roll forwards. And as you exhale back. Child's pose. Lifting up. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, fold forward. And coming all the way up. Bend your right knee, so you can either cross it over, if that feels better. Left hand on top of the right leg, right fingertips behind you. Take a deep inhale, find your length, and as you exhale, twist. And then coming back through center, cross your right ankle on top of the left thigh. You're gonna roll onto the pinky side of that left foot, left hand back behind you, underneath the left shoulder. Press through the base, lift it up, figure 4, side plank. Lift it up, you can always come to the tree version if that feels better. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, downward facing dog, to the back of the mat. Inhale, look at the front of you, slowly walk to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, scooch the feet nice and wide, pivot the toes out, squat low. Yogi squat. Take whatever variation feels good for you. Use whatever props. Land your fingertips back behind you, followed by the seat. Stretch the legs back out. So you can come back into the hamstring stretch, folding forwards. If you want to stretch it up a little bit, bring the soles of the feet together. Wherever you are, take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, allow the breath to move you into the space if you've got more room today. And coming all the way up. As you stretch your right leg long if they're not already. Left foot to the mat or cross it over. Placing the left fingertips back behind you as you take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, twist. Coming back through center, cross the ankle on top of the right thigh. Again, you can come for the tree variation if that feels better. Rolling onto the pinky side of that right foot, right hand back behind you underneath the shoulder. So actually you can just stay here if that feels better. If you feel good, engage into the core, use your oblique and the outer hip to push you up into that figure 4 side plank. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, release, downward facing dog. Dropping the knees to the mat. Come to a comfortable seated position. Sit nice and tall, close down the eyes. And come back to tune into your breath here. Noticing how it feels after moving around for this quick flow. Taking a big breath in. And then as you exhale, release through the mouth, let everything go. Bring the hands together and bow the head forwards. Showing love and gratitude to yourself and to this practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.